Morning all from frigid British Columbia, where it's very cold. We're setting records apparently for cold weather. That's after we set records for hot weather and records for rain. So I said in a news video last month, can't wait for the blizzards, and here we are. Um, yeah, record cold for us though isn't bad compared to the rest of the country, Canada, but it's still record cold for us. So there you go. Spengler Cup has been canceled as a COVID outbreak has hit HC Davos, so they've decided not to have the tournament this year. That's the second straight year that this has taken place. So the Spengler Cup won't be contested, and so Canada backing out early turns out to be the right thing to do, because you'd think they would have been over there already, and then they just get told thanks for coming, and off you go, home you go. So yeah, and Canada wasn't the only one that had backed out either. So basically, it's just they'll try it again next year. That's set aside now. We'll see how other tournaments turn out, right? Now, players returning for testing today. Jake Muzzin's been added to the protocol list for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's the 14th player on the list, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say Toronto may not be ready to play on Wednesday, depending on whether or not players come off the list as well. Part of the reason to have this long break for the NHL is to get players who are on the list off the list and get players back and playing, and then do everything you can to make sure that you can get the rest of the season in. So 14 Maple Leafs, it's a lot. The Flames had 20 who were affected by the outbreak in Calgary. One not being affected, though, Matthew Tkachuk. Good on him for however that works. He didn't end up getting it. 20 of his teammates did. And, of course, the coaching staff was affected as well. Testing today is going to be that's the key thing to deciding what happens and who returns and everything. And so, the return to play is scheduled for the 28th. And we'll see how many teams make it for that, or what the plan is, if there's going to be some kind of a change to how it all works. So that's where we're at right now. The Winnipeg Jets, basically ready for a return. They've called up Reichel and Cease. Reichel has played the one game so far. Cease has played a few, but I mean, CJ Cease has been used by them a few times over the last few years. He's an extra player that can come in and can play. And so they've been recalled due to the fact that there's players that are on the list for Winnipeg, and so they'll have a full roster, right? The World Junior Championship does start today. Fingers crossed on all that it all goes well and that it gets pulled off without a hitch, because there's already been a couple before the tournament got started. But hey, one example being that R2 Ratu from the Islanders prospect, of course, who was supposed to be really high in last year's draft, ends up dropping quite a bit. He tested positive, so he won't be in the tournament. So that was the Islanders' only prospect in the tournament as well. So the World Junior Championship starts today. We'll see how things go, and it'll be interesting. I'm going to watch some of it. I don't know how much I'm going to review or how much attention I'll pay to the whole thing, only because we know the NHL's starting up. That's going to occupy a lot of time. And the World Junior Championship staggers its games during the entire day. So that ends up taking up a lot of time as well. And the entertainment guy won't do it. So as much as I'd like to get help, the entertainment guy's already said no. So, all right. He can keep doing Night of the Comet videos, I guess. That'll pay the bills. But anyways, World Junior Championship starts today. We'll see how Canada does in terms of tournaments in Alberta. They've had a gold, a silver, and a bronze in their history. So we'll see how it goes in this one. The Columbus Blue Jackets, with Korpisalo being on the list and all of that, they've called Tarasov back up, so maybe he gets into a game. Probably not. It'll probably just be Elvis. But Tarasov played relatively well in those games he played. Didn't win them, but he played pretty well in those games. So we'll see how things go for him, how things go for the NHL. And it's highly likely we will have further clarification on what the schedule's going to look like and everything later on today. So stay tuned for that. I'll be here because, again, minus 21 outside with wind chill, and it's supposed to get colder. It's supposed to be the regular temperature, supposed to be minus 15, and we may be looking at wind chills of like minus 30. So And again, it's one thing that when you have a place that's winterized and winterproofed and all that, we don't. So there's that. But anyways, hopefully everybody watching this is warm, they're safe, and they're happy and had themselves a wonderful holiday. And if you didn't, the holiday's over. You can move on 364 days before you have to worry about it again. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.